Welcome to State of the City. My name is Todd Prafke. I'm the City Administrator here in St. Peter. I really appreciate you clicking on this video blog about some of the things that are going on in St. Peter. My goals today are twofold. First of all, to talk about the workshop from just last night, from April 18th, Monday night, April 18th. And then to talk about a few tidbits of information that I hope you'll find useful about the community. So let me dive right into that. First of all, the council workshop from last night. Here's the agenda. It looks something like this. Now, if you're really interested in knowing a lot of details, you can go on our website and see the entire packet, which is about 60 pages long, a lot of detailed information related to some of these topics. I'm going to hit on a few of these to start out with. So let me jump right into that. First of all, urban chickens. You'll see discussion A, city regulations, urban chickens. This is one that the council's talked about a couple of different times, and this really relates to, do we allow or do we continue to not allow chickens within the city limits as a part of the definition of farm animals? Now, the council had a lot of discussion about that last night, and frankly, they're kind of split. Should they, shouldn't they, should they, shouldn't they? And so they gave me some direction to do some additional research and provide some information back to them, along with a draft of an ordinance that would provide for chickens if they are permitted. So without getting into a lot of detail, it goes something like this. The comparable might be goldfish. You can go to a store and buy a goldfish and bring it home. You don't need a license from the city. You don't need a permit. You don't need anybody to come inspect your fish bowl or anything like that. So that's kind of a matter of right to be able to have that goldfish. Dogs, as an example, are a little bit different in that you can have a dog, but you can't have more than 3, and you got to make sure that it's licensed, not because we necessarily want the license, but because we really want to make sure that the dog is vaccinated appropriately, not only to protect the dog's health, but to protect public health. And that's one of the primary goals or objectives that city councils have, to protect health and welfare of the community. Chickens in this instance would be permitted, so it goes like this. It's kind of a one level above a license, which means that you not only have to kind of make sure that, I don't want to say the chickens are licensed, but maybe the facility is licensed, but there are specific rules that you have to follow. So you got to do something in relation to how big a space you have, what you do with the food, what you do with the waste. It's a little bit different than a dog, because all we do is say you got to have a license and a vaccination. But with a chicken, we might say, you got to have this size of coop, you got to have this size of run, you got to be able to do this with the food, you got to be able to do this with the waste. And if you don't do those things, then you're not allowed to have chickens. So anyway, they've asked me to draft something like that, and so I'll come back to them in the next month or so. They're not in any big hurry, since they're kind of deadlocked as to whether they should or whether they shouldn't do this one. So if you have a thought or an idea about this, please feel free to visit with me, give me a call, give me a ring, or certainly visit with your city council members. They'll be happy to hear from you on that urban chicken issue. The next item I want to mention is Traverse Green. Now, that's the new subdivision that the City Council's taken action to authorize on the west side of town. They've authorized bids, and we're going to start construction on that within the next week and a half or 2 weeks. Now, a lot of people have asked me for location on that, and so while I don't have a map right here today, I will tell you it is generally in the northwest quadrant of the intersection of Nicollet Avenue and Traverse. The northwest quadrant of Nicollet Avenue and Traverse. So it's just west of Nicollet Avenue, kind of out in the country there. This will be kind of breaking new territory for housing development within our community. So the council last night looked at sales rules, and they looked at covenants for the neighborhood. So the rules related to who can buy, how they can buy, what they can pay, how many they can pay for at a time, how they can own them, what the timeline is, all that kind of stuff. And then covenants, which are things that are in most neighborhoods within St. Peter, at least a little bit, which say things like, you know, your front garage has to be like so, you got to have a garage, you got to do this, you got to do that. There's some rules related to that in any subdivision pretty much in St. Peter. And so those are things that the council has to approve as we move forward in this process to start this housing subdivision. We also talked a lot about the electric fund. This is one of the budgets that we work on an annual basis. There are about a dozen different budgets, but this is one of the bigger ones, one of the most important ones. The total on this budget is about $11 million. I'm going to show you an income statement. So if you're a numbers person, or if you're maybe a business kind of person, accountant, that kind of thing with numbers, you can take a quick look at this and see where we're at. Now, this assumes that we are getting an additional $300,000 or so in revenue from our ratepayers, which means, well, most of you. So if we can do that, our revenues will exceed our fund balance about $50,000. Here's kind of the scoop. Our energy prices are going up 6%. Our transmission prices are going up 6%. Our demand charge, which, well, I won't go into a lot of explanation about demand, is going up 6%. Those are costs that the council, I think, is in a position now that they want to try and not change rates, but they've got to do something to keep pace with that, because we do think that we're going to have a rate increase. Well, we know we've had a rate increase this year, and we're likely to have a rate increase next year. So watch for more information for that. There's going to be a lot more discussion on this, and we're going to provide a lot of explanation. I got to tell you, based on the discussion last night, this likely means electric rates are going to go up somewhat. Not 6%, more in the 3% to 5% kind of range. The council is going to take in some of that, and there's some mathematics about how rates work and other things. But be ready for that. No one likes to provide for rate increases, but it is something that the council is likely to pass along to our customers. The fund itself just can't support that and have reserves that are necessary to operate it appropriately as a business and to make things go. So anyway, watch for more information. I'm sorry to bring you that news, but watch for more information on that. It is something that the council struggles with mightily. Changing rates is never fun, and so it is something that they take a long, hard look at and do a lot of evaluation on that. So watch for that as we move forward to the future. I also want to mention regional transit. It's been in the paper a little bit lately, and so we're one of the champions, or we're spearheading the opportunity for regional transit. And so I'm not sure where this is going to go. There's going to be a lot more discussion about regional transit. And who are the partners? Is it the counties? Is it the cities? Is it all of us together? Should it be different based on the different kinds of services that we're looking to provide? And so this group continues to get together and talk about how it might be done not only well for users, but in a very efficient way. I will tell you that one of the council's main goals with this is certainly to find efficiency, but it's to continue to see the level and types of service that we have in St. Peter. We have arguably a very positive, robust system, and the people that use transit in town really use and need that transit. And so the council doesn't want to see any negative impact on the kinds of services that are provided within St. Peter. So rest assured, that's one of the directions that they're going. And we'll continue to be happy to work with the counties and with DOT, and certainly the City of Le Sueur. Our partners at the City of Le Sueur have been fantastic to work with. So kudos to them, and kudos to DOT for continuing to work with all of us to try and make transit more available to more folks within our region, and certainly within the City of St. Peter. I have a few tidbits of information that I want to mention, one of which is the hot sheet. If you don't get the hot sheet, it's an electronic weekly newsletter. We only do it electronically, so we only do it on our website or send it to your email box by email, obviously. And so if you're interested in getting that city newsletter with that, which has lots of great information, let us know. And here's one of the ways that you can let us know. You can email us at, well, there you see it, barbara.l@stpetermn.gov. You can get it on our website if you'd like. There's a tab in the upper right-hand corner of the screen for our Hot Sheet weekly newsletter. And certainly we promote it and usually put a link on our Facebook page. Or you can call us and give us your email address, and we'll be happy to send it to you. Here's a couple other things that I want to hit just quickly. I mentioned this last time on my video blog, but I think this is really important. It's one of those things that's going to continue to get discussion within our community, and that's promotion of solar energy and solar energy opportunities. As a part of a meeting about a month ago now, maybe it's 3 weeks ago, some community members got together and talked about what can happen with solar energy. The council's been talking about this for a long time, and as the electric provider within St. Peter, they have some goals. And so I wanted to show these to you so you can get a feel for really what's going on and what they see as some of the goals. Now, this is something that maybe needs a little bit of wordsmithing, and it's been evaluated a couple of times, and it'll continue to be reevaluated. But it's important for the council to have some goals as they look forward to making some changes within this or other things within our community. So here are the goals for solar energy that they've discussed. No financial subsidies over the long term, ease of city operations, reduce cost to customers and to the city, positively impact cost and energy supply, community-based opportunity. It's got to be a community-based opportunity. Not that they want to exclude people from putting solar panels on their roof or anything, but they really think the best opportunity for us all to share in the benefits or struggles related to this is to do it on a community-wide basis. And then, of course, something that promotes sustainability. So those are some of the goals that they have in mind. If you have questions about that, let me know. We'd be happy to visit some more about that and are excited to continue to work on a project. I think the council is near a point where we're certainly late this summer, maybe it's in the early fall, be able to go forward with more of a, what sometimes is called a community garden or a solar community garden opportunity, so that lots of people can participate in providing solar energy, not only for their home or business, but for the community overall. So with all of that said, I'm running out of time, but I do want to mention this again. Here's how you can contact us. I mentioned Facebook. We'd love it if you liked us. We'd love to have you like us on Facebook. We put a lot more information on there and are excited to do that for folks. Again, I'm happy to come out and talk with your group or your organization and all the great things that are going on, and let you know that we haven't opened up the restrooms at parks yet. Normally it's May. 1st of May, we might, if the weather continues to hold here, open them up a little bit early, so watch for additional information on that. And I really want to thank you for clicking on State of the City. Hope you have a great rest of the week.